Thank you. House Republicans rolled out a pledge with America ahead of the midterm election, citing a priority of creating jobs, cutting taxes, and federal spending. Republicans hope it offers a blueprint to take control of the House. One House Democrat, South Carolina's James Clyburn, calls the pledge a plague on Americans. Congressman Robert Aderholt is a Republican representing Alabama's 4th District. He joins us by phone this morning. Congressman, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, good morning, Ray. Good to be with you.
Okay, let me start off. A few of the things out there. Extend all Bush-era tax cuts. Also, a tax deduction for small business, basically on 20% of income. That tax deduction out there as well. Cut spending of at least $100 billion. A lot of critics out there, both Democrat and conservative Republicans, saying not going far enough actually increases the deficit over the next 10 years. How do you see that?
Well, we've got to start somewhere, and as I think right now the American people are really concerned about the amount of spending that goes on in Washington. If you really break it down into how much money was actually spent, Washington spends $7 million every minute of every hour of every day. And we've got to start somewhere. Right now we're going in the opposite direction of additional spending, and so what we need to do is start looking in the other direction and start cutting. And I think there's plenty of programs out there that need to be looked at. There's so many programs on the federal level that are duplicate of other programs that could be easily consolidated. And so there's a lot of things out there that needs to be done, can be done. And I think one thing important to note about this pledge to America is this is not a campaign or election agenda. This is a government agenda that the House Republicans are calling on Speaker Pelosi to implement now, not something after the election or whatever. All these can be done this year. We still have, this is, of course, just September, and with the new Congress doesn't start until January. So there's a lot of things that could be done, and that's what we're asking in this document.
There is also the push, which is something we've heard over the last year as well, repeal health care, the health care bill, parts of it going into place yesterday. But there was also the qualification that, some of the more popular provisions within this health care measure would still be allowed to continue on, which is something essentially a lot of Republicans have suggested. Again, critics say this is going to cost a lot of money. How do you respond?
Well, one thing that I think most Americans are believe that the health care program that was implemented by the Obama administration they do not support. What they do support is health care reform, and Republicans and Democrats have both been saying that. That's not something that just the Democrats have been saying, that reform in health care is needed. So there's going to be I think there's ways that we can help healthcare and bring down the cost of healthcare and try to reform healthcare without implementing a system that we saw under Obamacare or we're seeing on Obamacare. As you know, yesterday marked the 6th anniversary of the passage of the bill, and that started to see some of the things starting to creep in. But certainly there's things that Republicans would like to do, would like to see in health care reform, and those things we wholeheartedly support. What we're opposed to, and I think what most Americans are opposed to, is just this complete overhaul of the health care system in this country as we know it, and us to try to go, and we need to go more of some kind of system that would put common sense reforms as opposed to completely destroying what we've known in the past.
Right now, everybody vote counting, trying to figure out if the numbers are going to swing to Republicans in November. A lot of anti-establishment voting going on out there in primaries so far on both sides of the aisle in a lot of the primaries around the country. What are your thoughts? Look at Alabama. You've got two seats that were at one time controlled by Democrats in play right now, or currently. Bobby Bright to the south, Montgomery into the Wiregrass. You've got the 5th District race with Mo Brooks and Steve Raby in that race. Do you think Republicans gain in the congressional delegation in Alabama?
Oh, I do. I think that those races are, of course, are going to be very close races just because, Alabama, both of those seats, Bobby Bright has been mayor of Montgomery, is known quite well, but I think there is a wave going through the country right now that I think is going to catch a lot of the Democrats, I say by surprise. I think they know it's there, but I think that's where you'll see the pickups. It's just the wave that's going through across the country, and I think the same way up in the 5th District. Right now, Parker Griffith is a Republican, and he aligned himself with the Republicans back in December, but he was elected as a Democrat. But I think the 5th District is very ripe to actually elect a Republican. I think Parker Griffith saw what was happening up there in the 5th District and saw that people were not pleased with Obama's regulations and what was going on, and I think that's why he saw he could do more in the Republican Party than he could in the Democrat Party. And so now that he is out, now that Mo Brooks is the nominee, I think it's right for his picking.
Okay, Congressman Robert Aderholt, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, Reese. Good to be with you.
Robert Aderholt on the phone from Washington this morning. Let's go over to Mickey Ferguson now.